it's Linda. Welcome back to my channel. Today's video is actually a request from several of you guys. So, as you know by now, on the VIB sale from Sephora, the biggest thing that I bought was the Natasha Denona Sunset palette. I've been loving it. I've been using it obsessively, but it is $129, which is no small feat. Like, even with a discount, this is expensive. Also, if you've been watching my channel for kind of any period of time, you know that I'm in love with the Colourpop Yes Please palette, and it goes without saying that these two look a lot alike. So here's the Colourpop Yes Please palette. We've got a lot of warm tones, we've got a couple of shimmers, we've got a bunch of mattes, and here's the Natasha Denona Sunset palette. A lot of you guys wanted to know whether or not these are actual dupes of each other. To tell you guys if they're actual dupes, what I want to do is apply one palette to one eye and the other palette to the other eye. I want to tell you about the individual colors and see which ones maybe are better, the blendability, what's better. I'm gonna break down the cost analysis because it's not just about the whole price, it's about how many shadows, how many grams, what's the cost per gram, everything like that. And then I'm gonna do a wear test to see which one lasts the longest, because you really wanna get your money's worth, you know? I mean, if you're spending $10 on something, but it's crap, then what's the point? So stay tuned if you wanna see that whole breakdown, but I just wanna say that maybe you wanna hang out throughout the video because maybe there's a surprise. Subtlety, I has it. Before we get into the eye look, I just wanted to give you guys kind of a quickie recap of the value of each product. The Colourpop Yes Please palette has 12 shadows and it retails for $16 and is commonly on sale. Like right now, as I'm filming this, I think it's 25% off. So for the most part, you can usually get these for around 12 bucks, which is ridiculous. There are 10.21 grams in this palette. That brings it to $1.57 per gram, which is very inexpensive for makeup. The Natasha Denona Sunset palette has 15 shadows and it retails for $129, which pains me every time I say it. I do not often see this palette on sale. The way that I got this was during the Sephora VIB sale where I did get 15% off, and obviously if you're a higher tier, you will get more off, but I paid a lot of money for this. There's 37.5 grams of shadow in here, so more than 3 times the amount of the Colourpop Yes Please palette, and it comes out to $3.44 per gram. So while that seems like a huge price difference in general, you are getting a lot more product in the Natasha Denona palette, and you're only paying, I guess, about double, a little more than double per gram. So yes, you're definitely paying more. There is no doubt about that. But when you break it down per gram, the difference is not as extreme as $12 versus $129. Like, this is 10 times the price of this guy, which is insane. So because this is the way I just put them down, we're gonna do Natasha Denona on this eye and Colourpop on this eye. I'm gonna keep this as a memory in my head so I don't label them wrong like I did in one video long ago. Good job, Linda. First, because of the look that I want to go for today, I am gonna put tape on the outer corner of my eye. I know that this can be polarizing and a lot of people think it's cheating and it's terrible. Guess what? I'm doing it anyway because I'm not a makeup artist, okay? I'm just a makeup enthusiast, so it's happening. That's too much tape, that's too much tape. Now that that's down, let's zoom you guys in. Now for each color, I am going to use the same brush for both eyes to keep it fair. I am going to be using my fake color switch here. I think it's called the MS Deer Quick Color Removal. It's a color switch just to get off any excess shadow so I'm not doubling up. But for this, I'm going to be using the Doll 10 Beauty Crease Creator brush. This was in collaboration with Makeup Molly. I'm gonna link this brush set down below because it is just this stunning rose gold set, and it's an 8-piece kit for 39 bucks, which is ridiculous. I've been using these obsessively for the past week or so, and just, I love them, I love them. I'm gonna start with a bit of a darker transition color than I usually go for. On the Colourpop side, I'm going in with GNO. This color blends beautifully. I've always really liked this color. I'm going to switch this out now so we can move on to the Natasha Denona side. I just burped in the middle of talking. I'm a classy dame. Now for the Natasha Denona side, I'm going in with Terra, which is a kind of terracotta brown color. Same as GMO. Is it GMO or GNO? GNO on the Colourpop side. Oh, that's definitely a completely different color. That's not the color I meant to use. We're gonna keep that little brown, and instead we're gonna go in with Sinai from the Natasha Denona palette. Whew, this is already turning out to be something. So this color is definitely more brown than the orangey shade of GMO on the Colourpop palette, but it definitely does still have those very warm undertones to it. Just so they look the same, I'm probably gonna layer some colors because the whole point is to see if you actually need both of these palettes or if they are pretty much dupes for each other, right? I do have to admit, the Natasha Denona shadows blend like a dream. Like, I'm barely touching them and they're just beautiful. The Colourpop ones are beautiful as well, but sometimes they can be a scotch harder to blend out. Not bad ever, but you have to put in like, you know, another 60 seconds of blending time. I'm also gonna go in with a touch of Horizon just to warm that up and make it a little more orange on that eye. Now, I don't know if you can tell on screen, the colors are definitely a little bit different, and I don't know if it's because I put in that brown shade first. I don't think it is. I think it's just that they're slightly different, but from far away, can you even tell? I'm going in with another Doll 10 Beauty brush. This is the Shadow Shader, and it's great. This is a good dupe for my MAC 217 that I bought like, you know, 15 years ago, and it's still kicking strong, but I'm not gonna buy any more MAC brushes because they are not a cruelty-free company. Doll 10 Beauty is, so mwah, finally found a good dupe. I'm gonna take Spoiled, which is this lovely red color from the Colourpop palette, and that's gonna go a bit deeper in my crease just to define it more. Be gentle with this color, tap it off a lot, because it is pigmented. I'm also gonna put a little bit of this right on the outer corner. So do you guys see how it's being a little bit funky out here? Again, I'm not downing the Colourpop palette. I'm gonna add a little bit more GMO just to kind of blend the outer edge. But the colors blending together got a little bit funky. Nothing you can't fix though. Okay, that stained the brush a little bit, but all the color is off. And I am going in with, I think it's called Panjin, P-A-N-J-I-N, from the Natasha Denona palette on the other eye. Ooh, that one's a lot more intense. Ooh. Okay, so these colors blended together more seamlessly for sure. I just, there's no other way to say it. I'm gonna take a little bit of concealer and my Alamar Cosmetics flat shader brush, and I'm going to cut the crease. Now I'm taking my Luxie 213 eye shading brush, and I'm going to start with Mischief from the Colourpop. This is just a bright matte yellow, and I'm gonna pat that all over the lid and we're gonna see how it looks. Matte yellows can be difficult to work with. They are tricky, they can be patchy, they can have lots of fallout. So just beware and start small and you can always build up. Now I'm taking Soul from the Natasha Denona palette, putting it on the other eye. Let's see how this does. Whew, lots of fallout when I just tapped it, but let's see. So while I don't dislike the yellow in the Natasha Denona palette at all, I think I do like the Colourpop yellow better. This one did go on slightly patchy, and I'm having to kind of work with it a little bit more and layer it and really press it in, whereas the Colourpop one just went on smoothly and looked lovely. Both of them look great. I'm happy with both of them, but I just wanted to throw that out there. It's also hard to see, but there was a lot more fallout of the Natasha Denona one, just of the yellow, none of the other colors, but that yellow for sure. I want to add a little bit of shimmer to kind of the outer third, so I'm going in with Chauffeur from Colourpop. Can't see it at all, like at all. I'm gonna try to put it on with my finger. You can definitely see the color there. That's a little bit better. That really didn't show up much. Maybe it's because it's layering on top of the matte, but let's try the other side, which is Mandarin from the Natasha Denona palette. I'm gonna try that same brush first. Okay, that's not showing up either. Let's try it with a finger. You can see the sparkle there a lot more than on the other side. I want to go ahead and put those red shades on the outer corner a little bit more. Again, with this one, I'm going in with Spoiled, and then with Natasha Denona, it is Panjin. I think I also like the red shade a little bit better, and just shade-wise, not the way it performs, but the shade. In the Colourpop palette, it's a little bit warmer, whereas this one is a little deeper, almost kind of wine colored, but that's just a preference on shade. Now, one other thing that the Colourpop palette has that the Natasha Denona doesn't is some sort of a highlight shade. So I am gonna go in with Full Zip from the Colourpop palette, but if you look at the Natasha Denona, there really isn't anything to highlight with unless you want this frosty white, which I never want a frosty white highlight. So I'm gonna go in with the Colourpop on both eyes, and maybe that's not fair, but I'm doing it. You're not my real dad, Christy. Before I move on to under my eyes and taking off the tape and everything, I'm gonna go ahead and do a big wing on both eyes. I'm gonna be using the same liner. This is the Kat Von D tattoo liner. Just using this up until it's gone, but if you guys have any suggestions for your favorite liquid liner, preferably like a pen form, please comment down below because I don't want to purchase this one again, so I would love your recommendations. I'm gonna shoot off camera to do that, and I'll be right back. Okay, that wing went a little crazier than I was expecting, but we're gonna deal with it. I'm going in with the Doll 10 Beauty Detail Dazzler brush, and yes, I know I've been using these a lot, but the thing is I really wanna get to use these brushes because I really like them so far, but I wanna see how they wear and everything, but so far I'm just super impressed. I lied. Before I do the Detail Dazzler, I'm going with this e.l.f. Professional Blending Eye Brush, and I'm going to, again, take GMO in the Colourpop palette and run that under my eye. And then Horizon from Natasha Denona under the other eye. Now I'm gonna go in with the more refined brush and do the reds on each eye. This side is Colourpop, and I'm gonna take that really close to the lash line. All right, I'm gonna go off camera one more time. I'm gonna do my mascara and my lips, and then I will be back with my first thoughts. Since I wanted the focus to obviously be on the eyes today, I just went for a gloss. I just went for the Fenty Beauty Fenty Glow Gloss Fenty Beauty Gloss Bomb, and this is my favorite gloss, or one of them. It's so beautiful, and it smells good, and it feels good. It doesn't feel too sticky, but I digress. So, which palette do I think that you should buy? I guess you'd like an answer to that, and I don't necessarily have one. So far, my answer is go with what you can afford. I'll be blunt, this is a lot cheaper than this is. Now, I think each palette definitely has its pros and cons. For example, this, right off the bat, obviously, price is the best thing that you're gonna wanna take out of this. I will also say the yellow. I do like the yellow shade in this palette a lot more. It's also, I guess you'd say more travel friendly because it's definitely smaller and it's more compact. And a lot of people are saying, you know, I'm not gonna use up an eyeshadow ever, so I don't need 3.44 grams of shadow. I just need 10 point something grams of shadow. So base it off of that as well. The blendability of this is absolutely lovely, and it's one of my favorite palettes. Now, Natasha Denona palette. I do think that the blendability of this palette is better than the Colourpop. The colors go on each other seamlessly, and you can put two colors on top of each other without them muddying or without one color picking up the other color. That is a huge deal to me because it's also kind of a time saver in my eyes, that you're not having to dip in the palette as many times. You're not having to work as hard at it. It's sort of like the shadows almost do the work for you because they are so blendable and highly pigmented. I do not like the yellow in the Natasha Denona palette as much as the yellow in the Colourpop palette. I have said that several times, but it is worth mentioning because the yellow is what's going to draw a lot of people to this palette. So I guess we're just gonna have to see how this wears throughout the day now. So I am going out shopping by myself right now because I need some work clothes. I'm wearing the same thing over and over and over again, and I'm not used to this whole business casual thing yet, so I gotta make this work. But before I go away and come back, did you make it this far in the video? Because if so, you're lucky. Guess why? There's a giveaway. I didn't say that in the title of this video. I'm not gonna say it many times else throughout the video. I wanted to see who's really here, who's watching this video. To be honest here, you guys are the real MVPs, and I don't wanna just give this away to somebody who looks for the word giveaway in a title of a video and enters every single thing without actually being here for the video, and you guys are here for me, and I love you. One of you guys is going to get a brand new Colourpop Yes Please palette. It is not going to be as disgusting and gross as mine is. I will warn you, the packaging does get gross. This one is shiny and new. Here's the receipt to show you I purchased it myself. If you would like the receipt, I got receipts. What do you have to do to enter to win? All you have to do is comment down below and tell me which palette that you would favor if money was not an object. That's it. If money was not an object, would you rather buy the Natasha Denona or the Colourpop? And unfortunately, I am not of the budget yet where I can give you the Natasha Denona, so right now you get the Colourpop, but it is beautiful. I promise. I love this palette. I still use it several times a week. The rest of the rules for the giveaway will be in the description box down below, so go ahead and check there. But I will be back with you guys in a bunch of hours to show you how this wears, because that's also super important, right? I will see you soon. Maybe I'll do a check-in throughout the day. Maybe I'll forget. Okay, so here is my final check-in. This makeup has been on for about 10 hours. You can see my hair definitely did not last. Let's zoom you in and take a look at the eyes up close. So this is the Colourpop side, this is the Natasha Denona side. Look carefully at the yellow. In the Natasha Denona side, you can see that here it's sort of almost faded out, and also in the corner, strangely, it's faded out. Whereas in the Colourpop side, some of the inner crease has gone away, as well as the outer corner, but for the most part, both of them have stayed nice and vibrant just where I placed them. Of course, this does not look as good as it did 10 hours ago, but I think that both still look pretty damn good. What do you guys think? So my final thoughts is that you are gonna have to base this mainly on price. I think that's basically where you're gonna have to go, because to be honest, they're not quite dupes for each other, but they're not far enough off where you necessarily need both. I actually love having both for different reasons. Like, this is a great palette for me for actually every day, for special occasions, things like that. This is fantastic for travel because it is so sleek, so compact, and if it got messed up during travel, I wouldn't cry having to buy another one. Whereas this one, I think I would throw up if I had to buy another one. So that's it, you guys. I hope you liked this video. Please let me know if you did by giving me a thumbs up. I do put out new videos here every Monday at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, so make sure you subscribe and become a part of the Rockstar fam. Don't forget, to win a brand new Colourpop Yes Please palette, you just have to comment down below and tell me, if money were no object, which one of these two would you buy? What I'm gonna be doing is commenting down below on the winner's post saying, hey, you've won. Now, if I don't say, hey, you've won, and I just comment on your comment, that doesn't necessarily mean you won, because I like chatting with you guys and I like talking back with you. So I'm probably gonna still comment to all of you, but I want to tell the person that they've won that way. Anyway, like I said, I hope you guys enjoyed this. I hope you're having a fantastic day, and I will see you guys in the next video. Mwah! Bye.